Welcome again to another podcast slash stream. I am Chaos Rain here. As you know, yes, welcome again. For those that will be listening for the very first time, thank you. Like always, if you're new to the stream, be sure to hit that subscription bell. In the bell, there's three options. Depending on which you select, will determine how often I go live. Also, please leave a comment during every stream, podcast, etc. I like to hear from you, hear your feedback, what you like, what you don't like, things that you find interesting on certain topics on Chaos Rain channel. As like always, like the video, So give me a few minutes. Okay, I guess we could begin. And as y'all know, this is the third volume, as it's titled, Jerking Off, Part or Volume 3. And it's gonna come to a point I might have to make anytime I find something new or innovative or something that, which is what considered the future of what we look at, how we deal with intercourse, sex, etc. I might just make a volume series. Hell, if I have enough, I might just compile it into one. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Now, as you know, tonight's the description of this broadcast is written underneath, but for clarity, in regards to the future of what we call intercourse or sex between men and women, it's going to change very drastically I would say, in the next few years, not even next decade. I would say much shorter than that. And the only reason why I say this is because I see the times we're in. And we're living in very interesting times for the very first time as a species in existence. And one of the things that I've noticed is the interaction and the connection and or the lack of interaction connection between man and woman more than ever. Hell, you see some of the men or young men today how they have their issues and complaints about the women or the young girls that they can't get some affection or what we call loving from them. Now, mind you, this is something pretty much new to me, even in the space we call social media and even in YouTube. And like any man, I more like to be humble and like always, you have to put yourself in position to get what you want at least. And if not, you work on yourself. It's one or the other. There's no way around it as a man. But it comes to a point where if you're not willing to do that as a man or a young man, then any woman that you're trying to track or get is, better than nothing, I like to say. But nowadays, we have a certain mindset, or we develop this so-called sociopathic, narcissistic mindset amongst each other as men and women in the society. Most boys feel that because they do things in right, that they're titled to a woman. That woman should just, because I went through high school, went through college, depending what degree or form of higher education I go through, bachelor's, master's, or hell, even the doctorates, that after putting in all that work, my reward should be I should be able to get the baddest chick out there, the most sexiest chick out there. You know the one where you take your hand and move it like, and she has that shape. Not we talking about the flat shape, but like she has shape in her body. She has big titties, round. I mean, nice round thighs, or bubble butt, or a slim waist, and the body is just fit enough where you could just sit there and look at her like a work of art. That's what most of the men feel that they're entitled to today. That if they cannot get that, then they're gonna make and have a tantrum like a child and say, "Woe is me, why I can't get this," or even go as far as, "All right, if I can't get this type of woman, I'm gonna get the second best thing." Most likely, it's someone that might be maybe not part of the same race they're in, the economy, and at the end of the day, they take this woman, and then they'll sit there flaunt it, and they'll make even or express their vitriol to the woman they can never get access to. Even go as far as say, "Look who you choose. You choose a bum, a loser. This dude don't even work. He sits on his butt, plays video games. He even go got a job, but he might look appealing to that woman just enough for her to get piped down by this male, or what these so-called quote unquote males want to label as the select male, and they label themselves as that non-select male, where they're so-called educated, and what I mean by educated, some formal to like a higher of a college degree or any greater, or they even go as far as say they got a trade. One way or the other, they always put these dichotomies and labels amongst themselves and the other males in the groups. Because at the end, it lies down to how much access to pussy they want to get. That's where it all boils down to. And when most males believe and think that they're non-select and they can't attract the woman what they want, they don't seek to try to do better or try to attract something just as better or not or somewhat close. They want the baddest woman, and every man wants that. Who does it? You know what I'm saying? Whoever man that puts in the work, whether in his brain but lack the body, which the brain and body should be one, but that's another story. That they feel they're entitled to the bad chick. I don't blame them. It sounds nice, it sounds good, but at the end of the day, women are going to screw who that makes their yoni or they pussy wet, for lack of better terms. Because in the society, we are more moving into more of an off-balance society, or what they want to call egalitarian. Which, if I want to pull up the definition, what it is, it might be more deep than it seems, or what the word says. But in the society we live in today, men and women, especially women, make their own money today. So obviously, if women can make their money, that means they can make their own choices. So obviously, if you're a man that's doing the same like the women are doing, because women work in the same fields as you, they got the same job as you, then obviously your ladder of getting who you want lessens. You gotta do a little bit more as a man. Unfortunately, and that's not a problem, because usually men, we should be get an attacking environment as this to conquer, so that way you're able to provide what is necessary for the ladies. And it has to be more than just the money. It has to be resource and all this other stuff. But no further ado, what I'm about to probably play, and I probably will share my screen just to show what is being played. But this is the future of sex in the 21st century. And trust me, this is very, very graphic. Which, I'm not going to play the video, but it's going to be very graphic when you hear it for the very first time. So as I find the audio.
The Launch. It is by Hero. So as long as you connect to Bluetooth with, I'm sorry. Oh my god. I can take a load to the face on camera, but I can't talk about it fucking. Don't worry about my facial expressions. That's just me. Your facial expressions are perfect. And alright.
And this is, as I show y'all now, this is what they're talking about the launch. Okay. All right, that's not it. Hold on. Let me see if it's showing. Okay. This is the launch.
What the hell is this right here, Sugar? Now tell people what you got, some digital box. This thing honestly makes me wish I had a dick. Oh, the man put his penis in here? Okay, so you're gonna stick, obviously, this is the fleshlight. Are you familiar with what the fleshlight is? It's a pocket pussy. No. Never used one? Sorry.
Now, mind you, the woman that's presenting this new, I guess, gizmo, or this new sex toy in the market, the guy that you hear talking is 2 Chainz. Once rapper, I believe. And I think she's a porn star. I think her name is Kenny Grammer. I don't know what her name is. But she's presenting this new invention to this rapper, or formerly known rapper, to to present that this is going to be the future of sex between men and women. Let's continue.
One of these guys right here look like they got a pussy in their pocket. So tell me, it's a pocket with some pussy in your pocket, right? Where you just... Well, I mean, I don't think you can fit this in your pocket. It's kind of big, but... Nah, that's a book bag. Fleshlight product has several different textures, different moldings from porn stars, cam girls. Shut up. It's amazing. I have one personally. If somebody want to hit Kimmy, yes, they have an imprint up your vaginal canal. They did. They did a silicone mold now in my asshole.
Oh, for clarity, what you see on the left hand side of this picture, that is the toy that the woman used to play with their coochie. Left hand side, as you can see. That is connected Bluetooth wise to that big machine you see, what they call the lunch. And mind you, like what the rapper 2 Chainz said, he said, "Is that a form of pocket pussy?" Yes, but that's an advanced version of a pocket pussy. You can't put that in your pocket. That's like a big whooper. It's like a speaker. Yeah. Yes, it is, Mr. Rainwood. It's crazy. I know. So through this device, this is supposed to create a form of virtual simulations intercourse between man and woman. But they're going to explain more as I continue on.
Let's just say you have a girlfriend and she's out of town. These two products can connect. Every stroke that she makes inside of herself, you will feel from the toy itself. It's compatible like that. It's compatible like that. Slides in and it moves. Now she starts moving it. Do you want her to go faster, harder? That's what the girl doing. This is what the girl is doing. She could be using her mouth, she could be using her pussy, whatever, but you'll be feeling her strokes. FaceTime, you could be over the phone, whatever, but you will still be technically kind of fucking your girlfriend. Man, that's hard. When you do it manually, you can adjust the speed and you can adjust the stroke length. It's 180 strokes a minute.
You see that? 180 strokes a minute. Now I know most men that it's not getting them, and we know we're in a time where a lot of people, couples or whatever, or even not even couples, let's say men and women particularly, are at home alone. This will be one of those new gizmos that will either make or break certain relationships. And mind you, now when they talk about relationships in general, where let's say the fiance is out of town and the man's still at home, right? She don't have to worry about anything for now. But she could have, like I said, that little I guess phallus Bluetooth electronically, digitally, through the phone, and he has that little I guess that big, whatever you want to call it, that lunch pocket pussy, and it will interact and vibrate as fast as how she messes with her own walls. So it's like in sync. It's supposed to be like actual sex, but it's not really sex. In other words, it's another form of masturbation, if you think about it. So if you look at right now, like I project before, that a lot of people today are being more disconnected more than ever. And if you notice, especially here in Europe, America, and outside of America, even Europe or anywhere where there's mostly a European so-called / controlled country, these electronic devices are being developed as we speak because they know what is coming in regards to interaction between men and women. With the help of social media, which I did talk about on a previous video about social media disease, the invention of it itself was designed for one purpose on it, is to disconnect people and make people be more antisocial and more distance as time progressed. If you look at it, we have social distancing right now because we having this outbreak. So what these inventions that's being put out in the market right, and it's out in the market right now. If you Google it, you'll find a price right now of it. This is the right time for most people that already create these sick inventions for people that doesn't get enough sex in their life. This will be the replacement for the average interaction between man and woman. But don't take my word for it. You will see for yourself.
No one ever got past it. How much was something might this cost somebody? The launch is $199. Okay. The fleshlight can range between $50 to $79.99. Okay. This is all depending on whether you have a girl or whatever. Let's say you pick your favorite porn star fleshlight. You can watch her porn. You go on a porn channel and you pick out which porno you want to watch, and the fleshlight will move with the porno that you're watching. So each motion that she makes, the fleshlight inside of the launch will make those motions. Do y'all need a business partner? This is an excellent idea. This is great. All right, so
well, at least I give 2 Chainz credit. He's thinking on the money side how much money you can make, which, you know, it can be a great investment if you're a smart investor. But think about this. Really, truly, this device, and it was created by a Caucasoid man, which I'll show you who he is in a second. Its sole purpose is not for couples that's already in a relationship and their distance, but this also will help fuel a already throbbing a throbbing business already, which is what we call the porn industries. Especially a lot of Americans or a lot of people in general watch a whole bunch of porn more than ever. And remember, porn in itself didn't really start coming around until like 1800s. And the reason why I say is because I remember one time did a whole stream on this, I think a year ago or almost 2 years ago. I could be wrong. I gotta find that stream. And I look into the history of porn in its entirety. And through a little quick search, Google search, I looked at a few French people back in the 1800s were creating things to film people having sex. And this is all from another country, not in America, but somewhere else. It's just we looked at after the late 60s, certain laws were removed in regards to interaction between man and woman in regards to film and recording themselves in film. I think it was broken off and the bill was lifted back in the 68 or 69. And if you remember during them times, and this is what I can remember, people, you could do your research better to better get clarity, is that in Europe, certain parts of Europe, it was forbidden for certain promiscuous behaviors to be people filming each other or put it out on film through movie theaters and all that stuff. It was taboo. But because the world was shifting to a different direction, including here in America, because now we have civil rights and then we're unified as people, the next step for confusion is to create what we call perversity amongst people, to let them indulge in their deepest desires, their inner desires. You hear all the time how most men today, especially the black male man, has a problem when he just wants to screw everything that he sees, have sex constantly. The reason why he acts and behaves like that is because he's been conditioned for centuries, what we call a process of butt breaking. Now, obviously, non-black people, European men, you know, other races of men, they have no problem with it because usually they were in a direction, especially the European man at the time, was starting to be in a rise of a position of power as a group of people, starting off in the 1400s, you know, and then after a while, you know, one of the few things they indulge in is a lot of sexual intercourse with not only women but men as well. But y'all know the history of that in itself. So to really look at it, the sex industry actually now has a place and it started to really be created more on a more massive scale. And when we hit in the 70s, that's when you see the movies like the black exploitation movies and the introduction of porn in its entirely itself in the early 70s. All this was happening when it started in Europe, and when they removed certain laws back in the late 60s. And in the next decade, you see sex being popped up. People film themselves having sex, selling, buying, you know. But I'm not gonna hold more of your time. I'm gonna let you listen more to this audio.
What you got here, a little juice to make it seem like it's real. So this is the lubricant. So this your new water soluble. Yeah, let's bring more ace in. That's good lube though, huh? Hey, brother, you got a hell of a thingamajig, man. I'm 2 Chainz. Nice to meet you.
All right. So what I'm gonna do? Let me see. I'm gonna try to show who he looks like. What you're seeing, this is the creator of the revolutionary new form of sex called the lunch. Okay, I get you, LaShawn. All right. This is the guy that created this device. Now, as you know, you could look at he, like many males, could be labeled a non-select. And he could probably be an engineer in this also. But you gotta understand, people, majority of your inventions were made by people that are geeks, smarts, etc. And when you have time, that's all you do. You create things, and not only you create things, you create things to solve what we call problems in society. So, like this gentleman right here, he created something big to solve a problem that is going to be a rise in the coming years between men and women, or human species. So, as you know, because of the creation of this thing, that he is going to revolutionize the sexual market. And this is what it looks like in better furrow pictures. And that's also the device that the woman used for Bluetooth, no matter where she's at, either at a household or somewhere else, connect, and it operates nonetheless. So let me see if I can continue playing audio.
Nice to meet you. My name is Maurice Ultimate. Have you used your invention yet? Every day. Really thank you for sharing this with us. Thank you for sharing it with the world. It's definitely Phil, we see you crawling on the fucking ground in the back. You had an ex-employee just walk behind you, crawling in the back. Yes. Hold on a second. I'll just show you the VR. And so with the VR, it really, I guess it really fulfills fantasy. So I don't know if you see the girl, right? Yeah. That game, bro, you a freak, bro. You are sick, bro. Look at this shit. Yo, look at this shit. She's sucking that man crazy.
Now, I'm not gonna play that part. I'm gonna fast forward that part. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. Good. It gets very loud and graphic. Hold on a second, people. Let me do this. I bet it. Hold on. Okay.
You got some shit. You be rich off jerking off, Maurice.
So there you go. And I'm looking at here. Yeah, that's true, LaShawn. That's true. That's true. And like always, LaShawn, a man should always build regardless, because we build for the comforts of society and what we want to see bring forth. I agree with that. So as you know, that little clip and the device, as you've seen right here, that's what they are. Like I said before, this is the future for a lot of couples, not only in America but globally, where we reside. And I said it once and say again that when people talk about this thing about when people are getting sexually frustrated and they don't know what to do, or someone might know what to do, they might play with themselves and all stuff. It's going to come to a point it might be not enough. They're going to start interact with more devices, and they're going to have to find other things to get off. A lot of people in America say watch a whole bunch of porn and engage in a lot of behaviors they shouldn't be engaging in. But like human nature, because a lot of people, especially conditioned and trained under other groups of racial people, you have these things. You know. Yeah, no one's gonna really help them. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, what this man created, LaShawn Jefferson, he has created it potentially could be $1 billion product, because this is where human beings are going. As society gets more disconnected now, they're going to turn to machinery. Hell, we're going to even go as far as go into sex bots, which is going to be put out in the market for affordable price in the next 3 years. Next 3 years, matter of fact, you're going to see men, and trust me, I know, because in the comment section on one of my other videos I've done on this, youth that's not even 30 years old saying that the hell with it, they're not going to deal with or interact or even try to deal with women. They will revert to mess around with a robotic or android in the image of a woman and have intercourse with that any day than dealing with an actual physical woman. And it's very sad, but I see this as a future reality for a lot of men, black and white, or I like to call non-black or non-white, because we are being socialized not to interact with each other anymore. So the only solution is you're going to be engaging and you're going to be doing and interacting with more things electronically. Now, a lot of people said that, a lot of women still going to play with their toys and they have to be concerned about it. Yes, they will. But also, it's going to point a bigger picture that they're going to be even lonelier once this rolls in, and other things that's going to roll in the coming years. Because a lot of us men and women are trained to be more separate than ever. You think that most people are not going to get married now, you have not seen what the future holds. This might save some marriage, or it might just not even, people won't get married at all with this, to be honest with you. Because if you think about it, this is a Bluetooth connection on your phone, which a lot of people use their phone nowadays for everything. If you're watching porn and you're connected to your favorite porn star through your phone, you could have her, if you pay a subscription, connect to your cell phone, connect to your, what they call whooper pussy. I like to call it whooper pussy. And she'll sit there far away while you stick your phallus in that, and you will come in less than 60 seconds. Because the magnitude of this device moves and can operate by how fast you want. So you can get your rocks off instantly. And like the porn star that said before, this is shaped to be in a mold either for vagina or the anus of a woman. Imagine that. So all those special molds that they sell in the stores and the porn stars, your favorite porn stars and all that crap. Now it could be mold in the image of a whooper device, what they call the lunch. Yeah, you're right. You're right, LaShawn. You're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, I like your input, bro. That's right. Yeah. Um, but like for the bigger picture, this thing that's been created by, like I said, the non-select male, like most these dudes label themselves, and the ones that are very much into gadgets, engineering, computer science, or coding, they made these devices because they found a need and go into solving a particular problem. So what he did, he created this to solve this bigger problem, which where society is going. Yeah. Yeah. It's true. It's true, LaShawn. This is true. It's true. Yeah, so, you know, to conclude that what you see and what you heard today, this is the future of what I call interaction and what we call intercourse between man and woman moving forward in the 21st century. And mind, this is one element of many that's being lined up as we speak, that's being created as we speak. The sex box are here. They're not going to be rolled in for like another 2-3 years once they perfected the technology. But meanwhile, they already have technology like this out here in the market just to meet the need for men and women, especially men. Uh-huh. Okay. True. True. Okay, Mark. Okay, LaShawn. That's good. Yeah, good. All right. So I will conclude on this note. This is the volume 3 edition of Jerking Off. And like I said before, there might be more because as I come across enough of these I would say videos, not articles, because I'm a person, I have to really see what's out here. I don't pay attention to it, but if they're creating something new to create more what they call social distancing or more or less interaction between men and women, I will watch it and see what it does, and then conclude that yeah, this is something that a person that will make millions in the efforts of where the society is going. So, like always, thank you for listening to this today's stream and podcast. And like always, please comment, subscribe, and like this video. And you also can follow me on Twitter at Chaos Reign the 7. Thank you for listening. Until next time, let the chaos reign.